Okay, call the regular City of Prescott Council meeting to order. It is Monday, May 23rd, 2022. It's 6 o'clock. Roll call, Tom.
Here.
Gar.
Here.
Pat.
Here.
Maureen.
Here.
Bailey.
Here.
I'm here, and Matt and Jane are here as well. John is excused, he's not feeling well. So can everybody stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here you stand and say,
Okay, thank you.
check and make sure your knee doesn't get out on you or something.
All right. Next item on the agenda is public comments. City Council will receive public comments on any issue related to the agenda. Not hearing any, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Planning Commission meeting minutes May 2nd. Personnel Committee meeting minutes May 4th. Regular City Council meetings May 9th. Health and Safety Committee May 9th. Need a motion to approve the
Motion to
agenda?
approve the consent agenda 1 through 6.
Second.
Any issues that anybody wants to bring up? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the next is a resolution 15-22, authorizing the installation of stop signs at the intersection of Tower Heights Road and Walnut Street. Matt, would you like to take that?
Well, actually, I was just going to say, I believe, so that was on consent agenda, one of the 1 through 6 items that we just.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that, all those fall underneath all the
Yep.
consent agenda? So we do have a resolution that,
Yep.
do we need to pass the resolution?
As long as you pass the consent agenda with the, which you just did, so that
All right.
works.
So reports of standing committees, Finance Committee, we're all good. Public Works, next meeting, Monday, June 27th at 5. Planning Commission, next meeting, Monday, June 6th at 6, Parks and Public Property, Memorandum of Understanding regarding Fairy Wonderland Park, City of Prescott, and Healing Play Incorporated. Who wants to take that?
I can take it.
Okay.
So last Parks and Public Property Committee, we had the Fairy Wonderland Group come before us. They are looking to move forward with the installation of their first phase or first zone, which is Zone F in the image in your packet. The Parks and Public Property Committee did review the memorandum of understanding. Currently, the plan would be that they're going to order the equipment. The city would then assist with Johnson Construction in actually installing the equipment. The current plan would that we'd be receiving the equipment about mid-September. Additionally, they would like to also move forward with fundraising, or their fundraising efforts have been very successful, so they'd like to move forward with the rubberized flooring around the equipment. So with that, the proposal is to move forward with the memorandum of understanding. The memorandum of understanding sets basically the ownership and operation, the fiscal relationships, public relations, marketing, promotion, signage, special events, insurance and indemnification, and then the termination of that agreement. The biggest thing overall to just keep in note is overall the park is still going to be ours. The equipment will be donated to us, although they're buying all the equipment. We're only in lieu of donating the time to install the equipment. So the biggest thing to just keep in mind is as we're moving forward, although the agreement does call out that we'd be splitting maintenance costs or working with them for maintenance costs, the one thing to always keep in mind is they are a nonprofit, and nonprofit groups are only solvent as their fundraising efforts, so we would just have to keep that in mind. One of the things that we did discuss was the warranty. The warranty items they did send over are included in your pack in terms of what are all covered. They range from 15-year warranty all the way down to a 3-year warranty. Additionally, we asked some questions about the rubberized flooring, which does have a 5-year warranty. They did say it typically lasts for about 10 to 15 years, although they did say the lifespan can be extended by resealing the surfacing every 3 to 4 years. We did ask a follow-up question of how much that would cost, so we're still waiting on that. However, that's the items that were requested by Parks and Public Property Committee to find out, so that's what we have for now. Although overall, they did approve the memorandum of understanding by a 3-2 vote and saw no issues with the items. So I'll turn it over to Council for comments or questions.
Good, Lori?
Yeah, so the warranty will follow the equipment to the city?
Correct.
Okay.
And I didn't really have any concerns with the warranties that I saw. I think that we will want to get, like you said, that pricing on that 3 to 4 year rubberized thing, just so we're doing that consistently to extend it.
Any progress or that we know of as far as project planner for this? I know we talked about that in the committee meeting that.
I think they're having an additional meeting. Matt's going to be meeting with the Fairy Wonderland Garden Group and then Mike, I believe.
Yeah, so we just, now that they've moved forward ordering the Create Play, which makes the equipment, actually sent it a very detailed project plan set. So that actually details how far each concrete item, each foundation that is, needs to be laid out. So we're gonna work to set up a meeting in June to sit down with them and Johnson Construction to come up with the logistics schedule to how this would all work out and
Great.
submit that to the Parks and Public Property Committee once we have a chance to meet.
Cool.
And that first pad's going to look awesome.
Yeah.
Look how cute that
I
is.
showed my kids and they were just
Yeah.
blown away.
Yeah.
So we need a motion to approve that
I
then?
make a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second regarding the memorandum of understanding regarding Fairy Wonderland Park. Any discussion on the motion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Next item on the agenda is approval of park bench dedications for downtown riverfront project at $4,000 per bench. I have a question.
Yep.
Okay. We were already going to buy the benches, correct? Why are we charging $4,000 when all we're getting is a brass 4x6 plaque?
So we were
For the
planning on doing it.
dedication.
Yeah, so we had talked about it as a committee, and we basically talked about if people want benches dedicated, that they could cover the cost of the bench. And so on future projects where we have a bunch of benches that are available, people could dedicate a bench, and so that includes the install. That's how we saw it. Where that money then could be utilized in additional spaces, whether that be additional green space stuff, so plants or anything like that, that could go back into that section of that park project.
I need that clarification on that because I have somebody that is interested in that lives in my house. So we need, I needed clarification on that.
Yeah,
so
that's
thank
what we
you.
were thinking, is so we could take whatever money that people want to dedicate a bench, and that includes the concrete that goes with it. And obviously, after it gets installed, the city's gonna maintain it and stuff, but that would be so we could have that money freed up to go into additional items in that project.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Did you look at the benches that would match Freedom Park? Is there a reason why you decided against those?
Are you talking the concrete ones or kind of the rocky ones? So we decided on Parks Committee, I don't even know how many months ago that was. We basically were presented a bunch of different visuals of things that we could do to kind of align the look of the riverfront. So it was myself, Rob, and Pat that basically went through and decided, okay, here's the look and feel that we're gonna go with. So moving forward, that's where all the benches are gonna look like. And I think there was actually something with Jane, I don't know, this is a long time ago, but there was something with obsolescence of some of these benches that Freedom was getting, I thought. So we were trying to look at other benches or
Yeah.
concrete ones, so that was.
Oh, you mean that you can't order them anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they
They don't hold up.
resemble the courtesy dock, the wood that's in the
Yeah.
courtesy dock.
Oh, okay,
So we're going with that
Yeah.
theme.
yeah, okay.
It's
I
that
think these are gonna-
maintenance-free kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
I think these are gonna hold up a little bit better too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do get cracked off.
Yeah.
They've held up pretty good though.
Any other questions or comments? Now I'll look for a motion to approve the park bench dedication.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second, any discussion on the motion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carried, thank you. Next meeting for Parks and Public Property, Monday, June 20th at 5 o'clock. Don't have anything for license? Okay, ordinance, next meeting, Monday, July 25th at 5 o'clock. Nothing for health and safety. Personnel, the next meeting is to be determined. Which leads us to communication and new business. Public comments, City Council will now receive public comment on any issue not related to the agenda. Limited to discussion by the council may take place, however, no action will be taken on any item. I have a couple things. We need to put out, I don't know, in the next newsletter or whatever about the grass on the streets. Lots of people are blowing their grass on the street and not cleaning that up. That goes into the sewer and plugs things up and everything. That is a ordinance, so please clean up your grass. And mowing your lawns, you need to maintain your lawns, otherwise that is another thing that is an ordinance, and will be cited for that. Okay, that's what I had.
I only have one, which is the hospital. So the old hospital, we've been having issues with it. There's just some interesting things that are going on, so I'd just like to get some updates as we start seeing the sale of that property and what's happening with it. So that's all I'm asking for at this time.
I do have one other thing, something to think about. Lots of chatter on the word of mouth and stuff about side-by-sides on our streets. You want to think long and hard about that. They are off-road vehicles. They go very, very fast. They're not made for roads. The argument is, oh, lots of other cities do that, but I'm here to tell you, put a 16-year-old in a side-by-side, you know what's going to happen.
What's a side-by-side?
An ATV.
Oh,
It's like the
okay.
UTVs.
It's a UTV, a utility
Okay.
We got the bus
vehicle,
drum.
but
Oh.
It's more than
It's-
a golf cart, but
But less than a.
it's something that I've talked to the chief about, and it's been kicked around before, and we really, really, really do not want that.
so.
Is it becoming a more persistent issue or something?
Yes.
And just for knowledge here, currently they're not, we don't permit them on the road unless it was licensed as a vehicle of some sort. If it had a license and was legal, we would, but if not, then it's not, correct?
That's correct.
And we don't offer permits to that like we do golf carts, correct?
I think
Looks like Eric has something to say.
Chief might.
Sir, in the back row.
Come on up.
Yeah, I was just gonna tell you,
You come up so you can use the
Come up to
microphone.
podium.
Sorry, make you do that.
Wave to all your family and friends.
alright, so there are certain times that UTVs are allowed on the city streets. Prescott Days Parade, they run them up and down the parade routes, cart each other around, do that kind of thing. And snow removal in the wintertime, we allow them, if they
They have
have
snow equipment.
the flashing light and the plow on the front, they can go and help people plow out driveways, but that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
So they're not allowed.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tom.
I see a lot of them on Halloween pulling trailers.
We also allow them on Halloween evening to pull trailers.
Thank you.
It's good to know. Okay.
Anybody else have any comments on that?
And our ordinance doesn't state anything about UTVs. Is there any state?
2018, they changed it.
They did?
Yes.
Okay.
What was
And
that?
the golf carts are limited to 25 miles an hour. That's all they're allowed to go, be able to go. To be able to be
Even in
licensed.
golf cart?
Golf carts, 25 miles an hour,
Maximum.
maximum.
No matter what
So
speed
you want-
limit is, you
Right.
can't go over 25 if you're in a golf cart.
So
You're
why
not
don't-
supposed to, no,
Why don't we just permit things that can only have like a 25 cc or something like that?
no.
No?
We don't want to open that.
No?
because there's little things called a governor, you put your finger in and make it go
Oh,
faster.
electric ones.
But, no, we don't wanna, personal opinion, I don't wanna see them on our streets. Just, it's an accident waiting to happen.
But we're gonna have to allow it for special use cases.
We already do.
We just have. We haven't done it, it's never been any kind of resolution or anything like that. We've just made the exception to say, hey, it's a big snowstorm, you know, as long as you got your flashing light on, you're going to plow, and you're not out whipping doohickeys in the streets and that kind of thing, you're being responsible, go plow out your neighbor's driveway or your in-laws or whatever it is, and then just go back home. Halloween, they're all pulling kids and stuff anyway,
They're
so
not
they're
going
pretty,
breakneck speed.
they're pretty docile. And then the parade and, what was the other one I mentioned?
That was it.
That was it. The parade, I mean, it's mostly the adults and the people that are running it. And then maybe some entries that are in the parade that have them.
So can we do a special use thing, or can we review that at ordinance store?
And so if there isn't an ordinance or there isn't anything along those lines and you saw one on the street, would you be able to ticket that individual?
Yeah, it's an unregistered vehicle.
Okay.
So there's an ordinance for unregistered vehicles.
There's a state statute for unregistered
State
vehicles,
statute,
but
okay.
our ordinances state specifically no UTVs on the road,
Okay.
and then it goes into the golf cart where the golf carts are the
Okay.
exception.
All right.
And you can, and then go down the list of what's allowed.
So the rules are out there. People just need to follow them.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things. I don't think all our golf carts are registered, nor are our dogs. I don't think we have
Do I have to
only,
register my bikes?
no,
Somebody asked me that
Just
the other day.
dogs and golf carts.
yeah.
Somebody asked me that the other day.
I think we have more than 40 dogs in the city of Prescott. That's all we have licenses for.
Right.
No.
And I believe we've seen more than 52 golf carts probably too.
More than 52?
That's all we're
I've
at,
seen a
52.
lot of golf carts last summer
52
and,
seems-
So,
yeah.
sorry, can I just get a clarification? We wanted on the ordinance committee a special use for like one-time uses of them, or special uses?
Well, I don't know if we need it if it's already been defined.
Well, if we want it, the problem is gonna be if we're allowing it sometimes, but not other times, then they're gonna say, well, so-and-so got special, blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
Or I
that's
didn't
how it
know.
happens.
Well, take a look at it.
You
It
put it on
can't hurt to,
ordinance and
that's the
we'll
only
look
thing
at it.
I'm thinking, like, if someone wants to use it for plowing, you know, for purposes or something like that.
Well, and let's define plowing. Plowing means it has to have a plow on it.
And light.
So sorry, that's my work phone and I thought I had it turned off.
So
So,
when you do a special use, you're not, they wouldn't have to come up here every time to do that, right? I mean, it would just be spelled out in the ordinance saying. hey,
correct. Snow
these
with
would-
a plow and a light.
And then, I mean, are you going to then put it in the ordinance that, you know, on Halloween you can ride them, because that's where you gotta,
Right.
you
Can we
know,
do a resolution before Halloween?
you gotta watch what you do, because, I mean,
You can't
it's,
say if or may, say must and can't.
Can the council
Only
though
when-
do a resolution before Halloween to allow that? Would that, even though we have an ordinance, that's, we
Prescott
could have a
days
special use?
before then.
Yeah,
Huh?
you got Prescott days too.
Prescott
that's what I'm
days is
saying.
before then.
We have to do amplifier permits for everything. We have to do permits for Prescott days too. I don't know, just saying, we can look into it.
We'll look at it.
Okay, the next item is well number 3, safe drinking water resolution. Resolution 16-22, authorizing a representative to file applications for financial assistance from the state of Wisconsin Environmental Improvement Fund.
Thank you, Mayor. So there's 2 resolutions before you tonight regarding the Safe Drinking Water Loan Program that we did approve for CBS Square to go forward with working on in terms of submission to the DNR. I'm sorry, yes, the DNR. That was approved for $6,710. As part of that application, there are 2 required resolutions that need to be submitted with the program. The first is the authorized representative to file applications for financial assistance from the state of Wisconsin Environmental Improvement Fund. Per the resolution, it does call for that representative to be myself, the city administrator, to come forward as and sign documents as they come forward. The second one then is the approval resolution 17-22 declaring official intent to reimburse expenditures from proceeds of borrowing. So essentially how this works, if we were approved for the program, the bonding that the state would have to do for funding for the program would come a little bit later. So at first, as we incur expenses, we would be paying out of our own water fund. So then this resolution is basically saying that we would be taking the bond funds once they were received and reimbursing ourselves with them partially for expenditures that are made before we receive them. So I'll turn it over for comments and questions from council.
Good, Pat.
If we didn't get the approval in time, or it was delayed or whatever else, we have plenty of money in our water fund to be able to do that until things came through. How do we feel?
So right now we have an unallocated cash fund balance of $289,393. So the proposed overall project with the engineering and the contingencies is $1,023,000.
Right.
So, I mean, if we were to not get it completely, we'd have a discussion in terms of general fund reserves. We'd also have a discussion, the Public Service Commission would be requiring us to do quite a, probably rate increase.
Right.
So we'd have to have that discussion as, we did receive notice from the DNR though, however, that we did qualify for some sort of funding, but we won't know for what level of funding that is until August probably.
And I believe you had said previously that we can only get up to about 44% of the...
So I've heard from anywhere from 43 to 47% in principal forgiveness. So overall, it's a loan, but based on the need, they do offer a percentage of principal forgiveness based on the overall need of each applicant. That's what we'd be finding out additionally in August.
So how are we gonna make up the difference between the 1 million and what we get? We take that out of the water
Well, so-
funds, or?
What we're doing right now, what we know we qualify for some amount is the Safe Drinking Water Loan Program, because they did put us on the list, which we found out last week after this was written. So we'll get a percentage, we'll get a certain amount of money, hopefully ideally the whole amount would come in a loan, and
Okay.
they would tell us in August what percentage is forgiven.
Oh,
Additionally, then, what we've been trying to do is take our ARPA funds. Pierce County has given the opportunity for certain programs and projects to apply for their ARPA funds, so we take our ARPA funds and try to match it with theirs to try to bridge the gap. So ideally, we wouldn't even have to really have a loan that we'd have to pay off long-term.
So,
okay, good.
so with that, you had said it's $1,023,000. And if it's 44%, we could maybe get 500,000 of it forgiven, and roughly 600,000 of it would be a loan. Okay, and then of that, we talked about that we could get 250 from ARPA maybe.
Right, and I just want to clarify too, there's been no indication for Pierce County that
Correct.
we've been at all moved
where-
forward
that's where
or
I'm going.
anything, so.
We would maybe have to do 250 of the 500,000, and if we could get 250 from the county, it would cover that, and we wouldn't have to raise any water rates, and we wouldn't have to raise any taxes.
Was, as part of this
If it worked that
submission,
way.
as part of this submission, they are gonna require, they will have to go through the Public Service Commission, so they're gonna look at all of that, as part of that, so. Correct, unfortunately, I don't have a good answer for you in terms of
No,
how
and I
that.
get it. So to that, my point would be, I would encourage folks, I think, to reach out to the folks at the county and explain to them, and again, I'll ask you to correct me if I'm wrong, Prescott represents 10% of the county population.
About that, yes.
And we're asking for about 2% of the ARPA funds that they have available to cover what we're thinking might be needed for this water portion. And that seems like to me, a very fair use of those funds to ensure that the 10% of the people in Prescott get good water and maybe don't have to pay an additional fee or taxes on this. And so again, I would just think that it might be, if you have the time, politely reach out to our county representatives. The people who are on that committee are, what's it called? It's a
It's the ad hoc committee
ad
for
hoc
the
committee,
article.
excuse me, thank you, are from all over the county. And so, again, I think it's a good idea if we reach out and let folks know we'd like to see that happen. And we think that it might be a good use, if you do feel that way.
Thank you, Pat.
I make a motion to approve resolution 1622 and 1722.
Second?
We have a motion, a second, to approve resolution 16-22 and 17-22. Are there any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you. Good discussion. Okay, the next item on the agenda is for approval to the Planning Commission, Rick Miller.
I make a motion to approve Rick Miller to the planning commission.
Second?
A motion, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you. We have no closed session. Is there any other business?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Can I hang on for 1 minute?
Okay.
Sir, you missed the open mic.
I missed it. James
yes,
told me
sir.
it was at the end.
You can ask the council if you can come and talk. If they don't want to let you talk, then it'll have to be at the next meeting.
No, I think he should talk.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. This meeting went pretty fast.
Yeah.
Things-
Step up to the mic and
Yeah.
tell us what you have.
Okay.
Let us know who you are, where you live,
All right.
and what your agenda is.
Mark Whitecheck, 120 Gibb Street, right here in Prescott. I called Jane on the 3rd, and I had a concern that the compost site is inaccessible most of the time. I work full-time. Everybody I know pretty much works full-time. Compost site is open part-time at best. I went there when it's supposed to be open and it wasn't open. We can't burn in town. We're not supposed to have junk all over the place, and I don't think it's right that I got to go all the way to River Falls. I own some land there, so I can use their site to use the compost site. I think it should be open 7 days a week, just like they are. I've heard concerns that that people were dropping off stuff they shouldn't be. Put up a camera. We're in the information age. It's not that hard. Hire somebody if you want to. Give somebody a job. I don't care. So that's my first concern, and it turned into 3. I called Jane today just to make sure that I was on the agenda, and she said the mayor, I'm assuming it was you, chose not to put it on the agenda for whatever reason. So then I started looking through the regulations, what do you want to call them, bylaws, whatever. And from what I see, the mayor does not have that right. That right is I got it right here, sorry. Yeah, I'd be happy to hand them out if you guys want to see it. No? Okay. It's 120-16, and it says, "Order of business. At all regular meetings, the order of business shall be according to the tentative agenda prepared by the city clerk. All matters to be considered at a regular or special council meeting shall be submitted to the city clerk at least by noon on the day prior to the meeting." I think it's a huge issue. Given that there's, in my opinion anyway, a lot of perceived government overreach going on in the world today. Things are being pushed at an ever-increasing rate to erode our Constitution. I think at the local level, it's the only place we have any say over things that are outside of what we can do at the world agenda. And I think that the citizens should have a right to redress grievances, whatever. And if a citizen has something that they want to put on the agenda, I think that should be, we should follow this. And that brings up my third point. And it's probably something you don't know about, and maybe it's not right to say it here, but I'm going to say it anyway. Right now, our leader is in Geneva trying to give our health freedom over to the World Health Organization. If they say there's going to be a worldwide lockdown, there will be a worldwide lockdown. If they say there's going to be vaccinations, there will be vaccinations. And as a Christian, if they say the mark of the beast, which I perceive as a computer chip in the right hand, according to King James Bible 13, or upon the forehead is going to be put in, it's going to happen. So I want to know that you guys are going to uphold the Constitution, and if they say at an international level that you need to do things that aren't in the Constitution, I want to know that you're going to stand, and I don't know if you had to say an oath to the Constitution when you were
Yes.
sworn in, that you're going to follow that oath. So that's really what I got. I would like, Jane said she would see about putting it on the next agenda. I'd like it on the next agenda if possible.
For us to make a statement that we.
The
Hang
compost.
on,
Oh, all right,
we're not gonna discuss that right
okay,
now.
all right.
If he wants to bring it to the agenda, then we'll put it on the agenda and then we'll discuss it then.
Okay? Okay, and the two issues, one was the compost and one was the fact that the citizens have the right to redress grievances according to 120-16. So, okay, thank you very much, I appreciate your time.
Now, is there any other business?
No. Motion to adjourn?
So just to be clear, you would like
Parks.
compost hours to be on parks?
Parks.
Yep.
We're on parks.
Is
Public property, so we can review the times and stuff then.
yeah.
Have a motion to adjourn, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you.
Would you call me today?